My bad. All right. Let's give it up. It's Tuesday night between the hours of, I'd say, 9 to approximately about 11 o'clock. It is time for the realest talking sports. We are called In the Paint. My name is Angus Black, a.k.a. Rodney Jones. And, of course, joining me is the man that created the show, Mr. Mark A. Cunningham, known on here as Max 611. What's up, brother?
What's up? How you doing?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. As the flow of the show goes, you'll see how I'm doing. Because I got a feeling a lot of F-bombs are going to be released from me tonight. I got a feeling. I just feel it in the air. So that's how I'm feeling. What about yourself? You good?
Good, bro.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Talking this sports stuff.
Okay. No doubt. I gotta put some stuff up here, of course. And we're joined also. Let me make sure his mic is not muted, by our brother and also a great supporter of the show, friend to the show, my man Reggie. Reggie, what's up? Your mic is live, brother. How you doing?
Good evening, fellas. What's going on?
All right, everything is good
And
so
I
far.
and to answer your question, no, I don't think they learned to go right yet. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Oh yes, yeah. We'll get into that a little bit later. And that what you just answered brings such joy to my hated heart. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that. Let's get into it. The first topic tonight is you may be cracking me up over here. The first topic tonight is Serena Williams announcing she's ready to retire from tennis after the this year's US Open, which is I think a few weeks away. Um I gotta tell you, I was talking to Mark about this, and Reg, you might have heard you might have heard maybe the tail end of it, but it kills me, and I'm gonna catch flack for this. I don't care. My shoulders are big enough. I don't give a damn. Um, she's a fantastic tennis player, but she is a shit human being. She's just shitty. Okay, I had my experience with her when I was working at Radio City Music Hall years ago, and she has a reputation for not exactly being the nicest to her supporters, her fans, who held her in such high esteem. But if you ever had that experience that I had with her, you wouldn't be thinking so highly of her. So I much rather give credit to her sister Venus, because Venus has been more humble. I just wish she had attained the awards, the grand slams that her sister did. But again, she's retiring. I give her props only as a tennis player. Again, as a human being, she's a shit individual. Okay,
Oh,
that's it for me. So I'm gonna lay off that and let you guys throw on all these heavy accolades and all whatever. Good for you. Handle.
Listen. She can be that, because she was that to you, unfortunately. But she's the greatest female tennis player ever. 23 Grand Slams, trying to catch up to past Margaret Court, who has 24. So if she retires, she'll have 24 Grand Slams, and Venus has 7.
Wait, you just hold on for a second. You said Court has 24 and Serena has 23.
Yep.
Right? So she'll retire with 23 if she doesn't win.
Yeah.
If she doesn't win U.S. Open,
Good.
she'll retire with 23.
I'm rooting for Court, but go ahead.
Wow.
But yeah, Serena's, listen, she's been dominant for a couple decades. Mm-hmm. So, and yeah, she's a prickly type person. Some things she's done I don't approve of, and then there's some things she's done that, she's done a lot of good. In spite of her being a shit person to you, as you say.
Yes, that was
I wasn't there. Only you and her know about that, and maybe she forgot because
she forgot. Who am I? I'm nobody. She forgot. She just brushed off like, you're a nobody. You're beneath me. So that type of attitude turned me off completely. I'm like,
what?
I will punch you in the back of the head, you ugly. No, let me stop. Okay, back up.
Yeah, she's not ugly either, man. She's gorgeous. Both of them.
Okay.
No, dog. When they first started out, they wasn't the most wasn't
Hey,
not the thing
listen,
to look
they
at. I'm
weren't
just saying.
ugly as kids either. They were cute. They grew
What?
into.
Okay,
They
come on
weren't
now.
ugly.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's
Nah, I
keep it
wouldn't say
real.
what.
This is a real
No,
sports talk show.
no, I
They
am
won't.
keeping it real.
They won't beautiful.
Anyway,
They won't please it to the eye.
maybe your eye, but
No,
nah,
man, listen here. You bugging, bro.
Word.
no.
You bugging.
No,
But
I mean,
that's not.
they,
We're not being nice right now. I get it. We're not being nice, and I apologize. Not really.
man, darn that. They got easy on the eyes the older they got. But
No, that's
Hey.
partly true. That's partly true.
Hey,
What even
everybody
helped them even
blossoms,
more.
but again,
Yeah, well,
like I
and
said,
also the money
weren't
helps
bad.
out as well. The money helps as well. Okay, because now you're affording these creams and all this shit and this work being. Come on, the money helps out too.
okay, we talk about the sports part. Let's leave the personal stuff alone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But as far as tennis is concerned, hey,
Yes.
listen, she is one of the best. Yes, you got to give her props on that.
I
You
do.
know,
I do.
yeah, got to give her props on that.
It still doesn't change the fact I'm still rooting for Court to keep
Oh,
that 24. I'm saying I
well,
gotta have a little. I have to have a little
uh,
hatred. I gotta have a little hatred. That's me.
Unfortunately, the way it's been going for her, the
Right.
court is going to probably win. But you know,
Right.
we're hoping against that.
Well, you're hoping against it, but
We're
digress.
hoping against that, bro. Come on, stop it.
No, I'm not gonna stop it. No, you don't understand. You don't understand what
I
a
said
fine.
on the sport end of it. I'm hoping for 24.
Okay,
Okay,
gotcha.
you have to take your personal experience out of the equation
Uh-huh.
and just look at the
He's not gonna
sports
do
side
that.
of it.
He can't do it.
I
Hey,
can't.
listen, at
I'm
least
a
he's
hater.
on time tonight. At least he's on time tonight.
Hey, I was on time the other night. What are you talking about? Come on, I was there.
I wasn't, so that's why I can say that.
Oh, well, okay, gotcha.
I'm just basing on a post that somebody had made.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. so, so getting back, like I said, 23 Grand Slams. That's quite the accomplishment. I do give her credit. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shame she couldn't be a little bit more humble in her ways and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. I'm gonna leave the other stuff alone for now.
Please, for now.
Okay, for now, until I'm provoked. Okay.
Until we get back
fellas,
in the text group.
right, fellas. Brother Doug,
Uh-huh.
he said it's Serena in the top 10 of GOATs. He's on my page on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Is she in the top 10
Of GOATs for tennis.
I would have to say so. I mean, I'm not really a big tennis fan like that, but I do know there's Billie Joe King, there's Chris Everett. Now, are we talking?
Billie Jean.
Are we talking about male and female, or just female, as far as tennis?
It seems like he means of all tennis.
Of all tennis. Okay, fine. There's people out there. Jimmy Connors, Beyond Borg.
Yes.
You have those great individuals, but I would put Serena up there. Why not?
Yeah. Listen,
why not?
Listen, she did a lot on the court. She raised the level of awareness of people watching tennis. I watch more women's tennis than I do men's tennis, and that's I don't know. I just think the women are like watching them more than the men, but she better than John McEnroe. Fuck him.
Damn.
She is,
brother.
Nah, that dude is a piece of you know what.
Okay. Are we basing this on personal, or are we talking on?
He's talking personal.
Everything.
Well, okay. On the sports end, McEnroe, he had to play against a whole lot of good people, bro.
For sure, he did.
Okay.
And Serena did it.
Hold on now.
Hear him
Let me finish.
out.
Let me
Okay.
finish. On the mid side, he had to go through a whole lot of people to get what's the German dude? Boris Becker. He won a
Yeah.
couple. Bjorn Borg, Jimmy Connors,
Hmm.
uh,
Wasn't it
uh
Andre Agassi as well?
Andre Agassi. What was the boy that used to always beat Agassi?
Um, trying to.
What the what the
It
heck is
wasn't.
his name?
It wasn't Andy Roddick. That's the first person.
No,
It was
Roddick
no.
was a bum.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry to say. Roddick was
No,
a bum, but
I
that was
agree.
Pete
that was
Sampras.
after McEnroe. What
Pete
Pete Sampras?
Sampras.
Yes,
Okay.
Sampras. So
Hmm.
now, Serena comes along.
Hmm.
I think she was the tail end of, I want to say, Steffi Graf, maybe even a little bit later after Steffi Graf.
Hmm.
Okay, and she once she got that first one, it for whatever it clicked for her.
Hmm.
The only person that, and correct me if I'm wrong, and even to this point now, the only person that beat Serena Williams was Serena Williams.
Hmm.
Now,
Okay.
when you shooting yourself in the foot, yeah,
Hmm.
you're playing against yourself, and you're always going to
Right.
lose when you do that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
as
Okay.
far as being on the court with somebody else,
Hmm.
if she was in her right frame of mind, nobody was beating this lady. Nobody.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Doug also said, but who's more important to tennis, McEnroe or Serena? It's Serena.
Serena. Serena. That definitely. There's no question about that. You know
I
what I mean?
mean, she did put women's tennis back on the map. I'm not going to
Yeah.
sit here and dispute that.
Right.
Can't sit here and dispute that. She
Right.
put women's tennis back on the map, and then for her putting women's tennis back on the map, she put tennis back on the map as a whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody was
Right.
watching tennis like that.
No.
I mean, I picked up tennis. I don't know why I decided to watch tennis, but
Right.
we're
Right.
going back. We're going back some years. The Jimmy Connors, the McEnroes,
Mhm.
the Sampras. What's the boy from? What's the one name? Oh my God, what's his name?
Can't remember.
Not Nadal. What's the other one? One from
Federer.
Switzerland.
Not Federer.
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 Yeah, Federer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Federer. Uh huh.
yes.
Hmm.
But then Sampras couldn't beat Federer, and then Federer kicked off, and he started winning.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've been watching tennis a long time.
I mean I have the same experience as you, Reg. You know those names you just uttered off or what mentioned off and whatnot. So I get it. You know what I'm saying. I don't know why I first started out with the men's tennis. I'm not gonna lie to you. You understand what I'm saying? That caught
As
my
we all
attention.
did.
The women's, it was there. I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna sound messed up. I would watch it. If nothing else was on TV. I'm like, okay, let me turn this on the women's. I know that's kind of like, but it's true. I was watching the women's tennis, and I got into it a little bit more and whatnot. But then when the Williams sisters bursted upon the scene, that
Yes.
really caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? And it made me focus more on the women's side of tennis. So I get what you're saying. With that being said, we got another brother coming in, join us on in the paint. That my brother from, you know, he lives in NC, but by way of the Bronx. Brother Dom, welcome. Thinking your mic is live as well, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. I thought y'all would have got past all the stuff I didn't want to talk about, but
Oh,
hey,
oh, damn, son. Okay.
All righty then.
So
I'd
you,
rather discuss that text battle we had this morning. That was classic.
oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that. We're getting to that. Yeah, and I'm gonna,
Classic.
like I said, I got a disclaimer. Once I introduce that part of the show, I got a disclaimer. So you have to forgive my language when it comes up because I'm gonna get attacked tonight. Okay, so I'll just throw that out there. But it's all right.
Not by me. I'm just gonna
No,
instigate
you
that.
two,
Nobody's
you
gonna
two.
attack you,
Yes,
bro.
y'all are. I'm not falling for the okie doke. Okay, no, you
I
guys
can
are gonna be
promise
on the
you.
attack. Yeah, okay,
I can
okay. Well,
promise you a few of us will
okay,
not attack you.
Can I say
yeah.
one thing, R?
Go right ahead.
Today was probably the best day. With the text and that thing Mark posted. Oh man, it was 101.
It was funny. I was
God
here.
bless you guys, man.
I was sitting here mad, but laughing at it and kind of like at the same time, you know. So people, you guys don't know what we're talking about, but you will, trust me, when you hear it. Okay. So with that being said, Dom, do you have anything to say about Serena Williams, or you want to move on?
I'll just say this: we need to separate the male female. If she wasn't, to me, only me, guys. Let's skip over the majors and all of that. If she wasn't in the consideration as the greatest tennis player,
Right.
not female, tennis player.
Mhm.
Now, did she go a little too long? Man, maybe. But you could never knock her competitiveness. I mean, there was a time she was getting a little antsy with the reporters, but okay, who don't do that? But I'll tell you what, if we can't separate male, female, I'd like for somebody to tell me who had as long a competitive run as her, and maybe they could change my mind.
Not many. Maybe some of the guys who are currently playing tennis now, because they sort of came in when she came in.
But I don't even think none of them have as many major wins as her.
Right. Because
today
Nadal has been playing for a long time.
But does he have 23?
No, because he has somebody who
you can be Federer at one time.
As him.
He couldn't be Federer at one time.
Right.
But then now this English dude, what's his name? What's the English cat name? No, is he English? No, he's not from England. Is he Russian? The number one player.
I have no idea.
Me either.
Jokic. Yeah, Djokovic.
I'll say this though, guys. When you look at her run, she went through the best in decades. This decade, that decade, this decade, to this decade. That is to me the most amazing thing with all of that, guys. Come on. We're talking how many years, how many people were there or gone, or there now and just came on and still can't beat her. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing.
As I said, the only person to beat Serena was herself.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, basically.
I could agree with that. Yeah, I could agree with that for sure. You know what I mean? So good points, Dom.
I mean, we got some men that take a longer maternity leave than she did. I mean, that's crazy.
You ain't never lied.
Yo,
look at this.
Look at David looking smooth on his YouTube channel.
Whatever. Get that guy. Hopefully he's not coming. I hope you're not coming on, you son of a gun. Okay.
He said ITP is a safe space. It isn't. This is a safe space.
Except for Mark. Mark, come get you.
Is he at the Met game tonight, or are they in Cincinnati? They're home?
I think they're at Shea. Or City Field, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Because the Yankees.
Well, that's probably where he at.
All right. Well, let's do some moving on. We're gonna go into the lane of boxing for a hot minute. Sorry, Dom. Hang in there. Oh God, I brought him up. Damn it.
Oh,
he's here.
There he goes.
Look at this dapper individual.
Sir Sanford, David Sanford is here in the house. Your mic is live as well.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Mr. Sanford.
How you doing, brothers?
Dave, you might have missed it, but I told R and Mark today was the funniest day I've had.
I was listening.
Decades.
I had it on my phone. Yeah. Today was just one of those days we were wilding out all the way around. But I wanted to tell you, this is a safe space for you.
Yes.
We're amongst friends. Yes,
we're amongst friends. I am in a land of enemies right now. Okay.
Oh, you need a hug?
I am Brittany Griner, and I'm in Russia right now. Okay, that's what it is.
So you need a hug.
Whose fault is that?
You and Mark get ready to lose your black card. Damn.
You grow a couple of more inches. Hey, you could be.
That's right. And let your beard grow out a little bit more.
Did you see what David? Dom, did you see what David posted in the group in regards to Brittany Griner?
No,
that's what I was.
Hey, we can't do that. We can't do that.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm out. You and Dave, Mark, almost had me get ready to put on my body armor.
Yeah,
I got your back.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not taking
nothing
part
comes
this
between this friendship.
Exactly. I said, I'm out. I am out. Trying to stay out of jail.
That was great.
He's trying to get me banned off of social media.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Dave was definitely instigating. Very
Hell yeah.
calmly though. I love the way
He
he
was
was doing it.
he was stirring the pot.
And then we
Wait.
just went into the gifts and the memes,
Oh
and that
man.
just made it even
I'm
more
done.
comical.
I was done. I was done. Yo, listen. So Dave, let me ask you. Any thoughts on Serena retirement?
Yeah, I just think Serena is a special athlete. Not male, not female.
Mhm.
All across the board, sports wise, she is a special athlete, and I think that I'm going to miss her, but I think it is time for her to go. And she's still a young woman. I mean, she, an athlete in tennis standards, she's old, but in life, she's a young woman with a lot more that she could do. So it was a pleasure. I remember, the Williams sisters when they were teenagers with the beads in their hair and stirring up and upsetting people, and it was exciting. And to see what both of them have become, and I'm looking forward to see what they do as they move forward with their lives. So kudos to Serena, well done, and I think that all of the hopes and wishes that Richard Williams had for them when he was working with them, I think that they surpassed all of that, and I couldn't be
Remember
more
what he
proud of
said.
them.
Remember what he said. He said Venus is a killer. He said, but the other one,
yeah, the other one, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They were two different styles, and that's why I think we did a good job at not comparing the two, because it was clear that they were two different styles. But both of them, I don't think they could have asked for more.
Right.
right.
Well said. Well said. All right. With that being said, let's move on to our next topic tonight.
Hold on, I'm just wondering how Chris Rock feels about that.
Yeah.
Because if they was never that famous, Will wouldn't have been there for the Academy Award nomination.
That's
Wow.
And maybe
And
there
the
wouldn't
hits
have been a
just keep
slap.
coming.
Yeah, and
So
that's right. And
like,
if Demi Moore hadn't been an actress, then there wouldn't have been a G.I. Jane.
so this is like 6 degrees of separation we're playing, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
okay. Fantastic. Like I said, let's move on. In the lane of boxing, Tyson Fury is ready for a comeback and is eyeing Derek Chisora. Now, I got to be honest, when I first heard about this and I saw this story, it was a snooze fest for me right off the bat.
It still is.
Well, hold on. Let's pump the brakes for a second. Let me finish what I'm saying. My good friend and friend to the show, Ryan Foley, had hit me up, and he was like, "Well, that last fight he had against what's this guy's name? Pulev, was pretty good." Now, mind you, Pulev is like 41, Derek Chisora is 38. Okay, so I went on YouTube, I checked out the highlights and the fight and whatnot, and for what it was, I mean, yeah, he was winded. They both were, but they were honestly, they were going hard at each other, and I kind of respected that because, one side of me is like, nah, you need to sit your ass down permanently, call it a career. The other side was like, okay, it was entertaining. So for him to get in the ring, possibly with Fury, and remember, Fury's only 33, which I found surprising. I thought he was a little bit older, but he's only 33. And he's beat damn near everyone in the heavyweight division except for Anthony Joshua. They haven't fought, like Mark was telling me earlier. But I think it might be a competitive fight. They could change my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I'm willing. Now I don't care. Now listen, I don't shell out any money for any pay-per-views. Just know that. But I will be willing to devote my good time to actually sit down and watch them fight.
Right. Listen, Fury has fought Chisora twice. He beat him, went to distance. In the second fight, he knocked him out in like the 10th round. So if they fight again, I'm looking for him to knock him out sooner and get it, just finish this snooze fest of a trilogy. Like you said, Fury has fought Dylan White. He's beaten Deontay Wilder. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. He's beaten Steve Cunningham. He's just basically he needs to fight Joshua, and he could say he cleaned out the division and fought who he was supposed to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the division it's a little bit better than it was in the past, but it's still not as good as some of the other divisions.
Okay.
And Chisora, his record, he's 33 and 12.
Not the
He's
greatest.
1-3 in his last 4 fights.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one. He's fought in Joseph Parker. He lost to Usyk. He's fought Dylan White. So he has a nice resume. It's just he hasn't always won. So
Right.
Tyson Fury, come back. I would rather you come back and fight Anthony Joshua than you fight Derek Chisora, and we know what the deal is.
Maybe this is a warm up for him before he gets to
Well, you
Joshua.
know what? That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So he's got to get round himself into shape. With that, let me just bring in this guy, another one. The Bishop is live. Your mic is live. Sir. How are you?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? What's up, Matt? What's up, Matt? What's up, Ray? What's up, Dave?
Bishop.
What's up?
Bishop, what's good?
Bishop, when you gonna win me? Hold on, when me and you are going on this comedy tour? and David, it was on and popping this.
It was definitely on and popping.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to bait R. It's just like
beat me. What are you talking? You know what?
Bait.
Wait.
Yeah, bait.
Didn't he say there's a disclaimer? I think you could jump in there right now, dog.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you think it's easy to bait me? Well, when you talk fuckery to me, I'm gonna respond back. You can't talk fuckery to me, okay? I'm gonna come at you. Hell yeah, and I'm taking your money on top of that.
I'm done.
Wow.
You know
I'm filing an equal opportunity complaint against Mark.
Wow.
Because he didn't add me to the comedy show.
Oh.
I think that's where's the HR department, Dave?
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because you're a comedian too.
Yeah.
Let's just do the ITP comedian tour.
I thought Bishop chimed in a little early tonight. Thought he would be the next segment.
No, I know when he was coming on. I know it. It's all good. But back to Fury, and listen, you had mentioned what's that guy's name? Alexander Usyk?
Yeah.
They were saying how this fight between Fury and Chisora has implications for that Usyk versus Joshua too.
Right. I think Joshua he gonna lose again.
I hope so, because I can't stand that guy anyway.
And I want to see Usyk also if Fury doesn't fight Joshua, fight Usyk and then ride off to the sunset. You had a nice career.
Mm-hmm. What's funny about this in this whole heavyweight division is I just had a question like I put on Facebook. Has anyone seen Deontay Wilder lately? Is there a sighting? Is there any word, any news?
I'm working on a jab.
I'm just saying. It's like halfway, more than half of 2022 is over. Go ahead,
I heard he was in a Shaolin temple somewhere.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, okay, what happened to him? He disappeared. So with that being said, all right, guys.
Moving right along. Before we start, you want to choose a safe word?
Whoa.
Yeah, I got one, and it's not nice, okay? So before we start this, my disclaimer is pardon the amount of times I say fuck you for this particular topic, because I will be saying it a lot, because I have quite a few assholes on the line with me that
Wait,
are gonna try to. No, I'm not. No. Like I said,
Wow.
Is that how you refer to the brotherhood?
that's what I fucking
Right,
said.
the
God
brotherhood.
damn it. Okay, that's what I said. Kevin Durant.
So that won't be your safe word, right?
No. Yes, it will be.
wait,
Oh, okay.
wait, hold up. You didn't get enough today?
All right. Shut up. Kevin
Well,
Durant.
Reggie didn't attack you today. It was other
He
people.
certainly
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I know. This
He was
brings a lot.
just
Hold
laughing.
on, Mac. Hold on. This brings a lot. I'm sure that Brooklyn's Kevin Durant, the man that Brooklyn Nets owner, I think his name is Joe Tsai, fire the general manager and the head coach. This absolutely
Look at my
pissed me.
smile.
Fuck you. This pissed me the
There's
fuck.
one.
This pissed me the fuck off today. I couldn't even believe this story. The nerve of this peasy Negro.
Wow.
But do we even
Wow.
know if it's true?
Doesn't
It's
matter.
true. It's true.
Wait.
Because
How do you know it's true?
The peas are real.
No.
Oh, we know. Oh, you talking about
That's
that?
real.
Okay.
no, it's true because
How do you know?
he has 1,000 burn. He's a bitch. Okay, that's
Oh, wow.
Wait, hold on a second.
I think that's the safe word, Dave.
There it is.
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
that's the safe word.
I got a question. When he met with when he met with the owner, was it him or was it one of his burner accounts?
Oh
Whoa.
wow! Damn, it's
Here we
just
it
go.
was
it just
It was
No,
in person. It was
it
in
was
person.
him.
jump right
It was
into
him.
this.
It was in
him.
Was
person.
it his
But
mama?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm done with these two guys. I can't stand him and I can't stand the other idiot, Kyrie. The hell with them. Get rid of them.
Nah.
But no, but wait, no, don't nah me. Let me finish. Stop. Okay. Before this show
I gotta
aired,
mute my mic.
before this show aired, I was talking to Mac 611. Fuck you, Mac. Okay. I'm just saying. I
Wow.
was talking to Mac 611 about this, and I was like, you know what? If you take away the fuckery, take all that fuckery away, take the drama out, you still have on the court Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons and the
Joe
rest of the
Harris
and Joe Harris,
and
Seth,
Claxton and
whatever.
Seth Curry.
you still have those. Can I finish? You still have those players on the court. That's still a pretty good team, basketball wise. I'm not saying it's going to result in a championship, but god damn it, that's a pretty decent team, basketball wise. Outside of the fuckery, I had to get that off my chest. But since their fuckery is here, they got to be taking the task for it. They're fucking assholes.
Right.
They're assholes.
Also, KD said, fire the GM and the head coach if you don't trade me.
Trade his ass.
Listen, Steve Nash, we all know he can't coach his way out of wet paper bag. That's D'Antoni light. And I'm in agreement with him on that. It's just the way he's doing things right now.
But Mac, first of all, wasn't it Kyrie that suggested that they get rid of Kenny Atkinson?
Was it both of them? They did not.
Exactly.
Both of them?
It was not both of them, bro.
Was it both of them?
It was not both of them.
They were
No,
in unison.
it was Kyrie. Kyrie was the damn mouthpiece.
Right. He initiated
All right.
that bullshit.
He was
Now-
the mouthpiece. He's the one that said the bullshit.
Now Durant might have co-signed it.
Now Kevin Durant,
You might have
he
co-signed
got to
it.
back his boy up, even
Right.
though, yo, nigga, you wrong, but I got to back you up.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then if you do that, then you got to own it. Then you can't act like I didn't have anything to do with it. It was just Kyrie. If you're going to ride with Kyrie, then ride with him.
That's what he's doing, apparently.
Listen.
No, but then you can't then turn around and say, "Oh, we got to fire both of them." You co-signed it with Kyrie. You're the problem.
He rode with him last year. That was it. He said the wheels that fell off the bus.
Yo, listen.
Okay.
Listen,
Well, he
fellas.
helped him pick out the bus. He told him to get on that bus.
Hold on. Let me hear this. Go ahead,
So,
sir.
yeah, pardon. May I interject here?
I gave it floor, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shadow,
So
shadow spawn your wisdom.
number one. Number one, I agree with them getting rid of Kenny Atkinson when Kyrie and KD came in. He was not the right coach for that team.
And Nash is.
No,
Right.
no, no. I'm not saying that Nash is, but Kenny Atkinson was not the right coach. Kenny Atkinson was the coach for the us against them. They disrespect us. They hate us. They don't think we're good enough. They don't think we're an NBA team. They don't give us our respect. He's the guy that gets them riled up to get everybody playing at a semi decent level from 1 through I'd say 13 when the Nets were the Nets that they were back when he was the coach of the team. Once they got superstar and premier talent, he was not the coach for that team.
So
He's
who's
not
the
the coach
coach
for
for
that
them?
team.
I
Not
disagree.
not him, not Nash, somebody else, but not the two of them.
Why
Now,
isn't
number
he a
two,
coach for superstars?
because he's never coached superstars before. He doesn't have the respect.
Oh,
Who's Kenny Atkinson? Who's Kenny Atkinson?
who's Steve Nash?
Neither one of them.
He's a shoe salesman.
But I'm saying neither one of them have the caliber to coach those guys. Neither one of them.
So
Neither one
but
of them.
Kenny Atkinson did take them to the playoffs without KD. Are we forgetting that, sir?
Yeah, he played. He took the team that he had to the playoffs, and he had them
And
being
Kyrie was part of that team.
being a legitimate team in the East. Yes, he did. Absolutely, he was a
Right.
great coach for the
Right. And
personnel that he had.
hold on. Context. What happened in that playoffs? Who
He was a
disappeared?
great coach. He was
Who
a great
disappeared
coach.
in that playoffs though?
Milwaukee, you know what? Milwaukee just
No.
double teamed.
Who disappeared? Anybody? Who disappeared in that playoffs?
Milwaukee. Can I finish?
Yes.
Milwaukee double teamed Kyrie, and it pretty much made him ineffective. It made him ineffective.
No, he disappeared,
Who?
sir.
Nah, They
He
double teamed
disappeared.
him. They double teamed him, and it pretty much made him ineffective in that series against Milwaukee. Now,
Okay.
again,
So what else
I'll
did
come
he
back.
do in
Neither
that
one of them,
series?
neither one of those guys were were going to be effective coaches for that level of talent. I can tell you that. Neither one of those. If D'Antoni was there, he wasn't going to be an effective coach for that level of talent. Because it's like you're not going to get KD and Kyrie to dive on the floor, to have a chip on their shoulder because guys don't respect them and so forth and so on. It's like, dude,
Oh, so
I
they don't
won a
respect, they
championship.
don't respect the coach.
I won a
Oh.
championship. I won 2 championships. I'm Finals MVP. Like, what, dude? What are you gonna tell me? Like they don't respect
Oh
you?
man.
Like they don't respect you? Now, again, I'm not saying that it was right, but he wasn't the right coach for that team. Nash is not the right coach for that team.
Who is
But
the right coach for these two guys?
for these two knuckleheads, it's got to be somebody. It's got to be somebody that has played before, that can call them to task. That's
So
legitimate.
they have problems listening to coaches, is what you're saying.
Let me
I'm saying
jump
that's
in here before I
legitimate.
lose.
That's legitimate enough. That's legitimate enough to call these guys to task and getting KD's head and let him know, okay, well, you have to be the star that you are. You have to be the guy that is going to lead us to the promised land. You can't let this dude derail what you've accomplished in this league. And I don't think Nash is that guy for that. Now, before we're talking about coaches, I want to talk about all of the Brooklyn Novellas fans that were
Here we
thumbing
go.
their noses up at the New York Knicks fans when they signed Kyrie and KD and telling all the New York fans about how they need to look at what the Novellas are doing and follow that guide so that they can attract superstars and they can attract stars to sign with their team. And if I'm not correct, this is the first time in NBA history that a franchise has had 3 all-time great players on their
No.
roster,
No.
and
No.
now they won't have any because of the GM, because of the GM in his mouth and not knowing how to
First of all,
moderate and regulate.
what are you talking about? We still got 2 of the 3.
What
What are you
other-
talking about? We
what
still
other
got 2 of the
franchise-
3.
For now, for now, but you won't.
So no, you opened up
But you
this
won't.
bullshit line. Oh well, they're not gonna have 3, and you still got
Dude,
2. What are you talking about?
What franchise have we ever seen in the NBA in all the years of existence that have had 3 superstar players, and at the end of the day, they won't have any? Which franchise?
What are you? Oh God.
Matt, which franchise?
But say
Has
that
there
again,
ever
sir.
has there ever been any franchise that had 3 of the all-time greatest players, 3 superstar players on their roster at one time, and now they won't have any because they lost Harden. Now they're going to be losing KD and they're going to be losing Kyrie. Has that ever happened
Well,
before?
In what context?
Because of
The
of
last team that maybe Philadelphia 76ers, when they had Barkley was young and they had all those guys and they either traded them or they retired. Moses Malone, Dr. J, Maurice.
Those guys were too old. They were too old.
Right.
They got
So
older.
that's why I asked context.
Yeah,
But-
they
talking
got
about
older.
being in their prime.
These guys are in the prime of their career.
But OKC had 3.
They had KD, but they didn't want to pay him.
KD
Yeah,
was-
but
KD
but
was
still, I mean,
stripping
they
Harden and they broke him up.
Yeah, they broke
They
him
broke
up.
him up
So
because they didn't want to pay Harden.
But I wanted to go back to Bishop's point about the coach. So KD and Kyrie, you're saying that Kenny Atkinson wasn't the right coach for them because they're superstars and they're not going to listen to him. Okay, so then they bring in Nash. Now, if they had the power to get Atkinson out of there, then didn't they have some say in who they brought in? But when they brought in Nash, then we hear, well, we don't need a coach. This team can coach themselves. So now it doesn't work. Now it's Nash's fault. So then they're going to go out and get somebody else that doesn't work for them, and it's going to be that coach's fault. When are they going to take responsibility for it? Maybe it's you.
Right.
I don't care who you bring in here. If you fail and we keep giving you what you're asking for, and you're still not performing, and you're still not happy, then maybe it's you.
To David's point, hold on, Reggie. To David's point,
here we go.
In against Boston, who disappeared? KD and Kyrie. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, well, you can blame the coach. You can say, he can't coach this and that. I think a lot of it rests on the GM's shoulders because he can't keep his mouth shut. The NBA has been in existence. They've had Mercurial stars. They've had oddball guys who have just been able to play, and so they make exceptions, concessions. They do things out of the norm so that they can keep the player pacified a bit. This to me is like unprecedented that you have these like 3 all-stars, these 3 like top in the prime of their career, and you basically on the verge of losing all 3. That's to me is crazy. As a GM, like how does that happen?
But can I say something, Bishop? You're saying, to you and Dave's point, you're saying we're going to make the general manager accountable, but they're not accountable.
No, the general manager.
But let me
general
finish,
manager,
Bishop.
yeah.
He's accountable for his actions, but they're not accountable for theirs. If I gave you the sun, the moon, and the stars, and now all of a sudden you don't like the stars, you get in your panties, and now everybody wants out. So again, to Dave's point, the reason this is happening, Dave, is because of the lack of accountability. Take responsibility for your actions. We don't get to the GM if you don't uphold your portion of the deal. In a 3-year span, both of them was on the court for a total of 109 games. Do the math on that.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So last season, who was responsible for Kyrie not playing season?
We could get into that, Bishop, because you know what?
That's part of it, though.
Right, but I agree with
that's definitely part of it. That's a major part of it. Right. Now, not to cut you off, but had Kyrie played those games, or had they paid the fine so that Kyrie could play, whatever the case may be, who's to say they're in the number 8 spot to play against Boston?
Because one, we're putting our apples. You could take COVID out of it. I understand that part.
But you can't.
I also understand that 98% of the players on that team decide to take a different route. That was their business. They stuck together as a team. But if it wasn't COVID, it would have been something else with him. This is history. This is factual. There's always something with him. Take COVID out of it.
Yes, I agree, Dom.
There we go with the accountability.
Well, we're not saying that that's not the case, or that hasn't been the case in history, but you got to factor it in. You can't take COVID out of it.
But
you
when
understand?
there wasn't COVID, he was taking.
Oh, no. Hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Hold on.
Kyrie, I'm just going to use this word, quote unquote, special. And I don't mean in a good way. He definitely is. He's off his rocker. He does what he does. But this particular, and I'm just saying this particular year that just went by, Dom, you may be 100% right in saying that if it wasn't COVID, it would have been something else. You're 100% right. But we can only base it on what it is for that year. You understand what I'm saying? We're not saying you're wrong. At least I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you. It might have been something totally different with this dude because he has shown a history of fucking up. But you can't. Right, unfortunately, we can't say that about this year. This year, they made an excuse for him this year.
But I'm saying but totality, Reg. You're talking.
Yeah,
you're talking about missing 240 plus games. 240 plus games. He didn't miss 82 games because of COVID last year. They broke down. He played road game, whatever the case may be. But we're talking about missing 240 plus games in a 3-year span. COVID wasn't about COVID. It wasn't all about COVID. I am not taking COVID out of it.
No.
I'm saying if you miss 240 games, there's something happened before COVID.
So let me ask you this.
When he was with Boston.
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
who's responsible for that?
Who's responsible for what?
Yes, him missing those games.
We already identified that. They could have took a different path.
Okay, get where I'm going. So if I'm the principal and I'm letting this shit happen, who's responsible? Get him the fuck out of there. Get him the fuck out of there if that's the case. That's what I said.
I think you're missing the point, Reg. We identified that part. But we still don't account for the 240 plus other games. We're not accounting for the games he did this on Boston. This is the big picture. This is accountability of you getting on the court and playing ball. That's your job.
But you knew what they knew what they was getting when they signed this dude. You knew what you was getting.
That's a horse of another color, Reggie.
Okay, but this is why I'm saying.
Okay. But wait, hold on, fellas, hold up, because we're getting off track now. We need to be focusing on R. You guys are arguing with each other. Bring Rodney back on the stream.
Okay.
Because he's sitting back in the cut.
Yeah, so I was about.
Why you always trying to blow me up, son? Yo, why you always trying to blow me up, man? I don't appreciate
you sitting over there in Aspen somewhere.
Everybody likes R. Everybody likes R.
Hold on for a second, Bishop. Ronan said Harden forced his way out of Houston. Torched his teammates, came to camp out of shape. KD and Kyrie pushed to get Skip to Malou Harden and traded all those solid players to get his whack ass. Pulsar DU said, what were the expectations of this team we call the Nets championship? Right. It's time to break them up. Go ahead, Bishop, because you were talking.
Yeah, so I remember a few months ago I said to you guys, yo, Sean Marks needs to shut his mouth because what's going to happen is this thing is going to implode. We already know that KD is very sensitive. He's very sensitive.
He's Ralph Tresvant sensitive.
Yeah, he's very sensitive. And I'm like, yo, dude, Like, why is he going on these shows and getting involved in all this political stuff and trying to make all of these statements? It's like Kyrie could have played the majority of those games last season. It was the Nets GM that stepped out in front of it and said that we don't want part-time players. We don't want this. He didn't have to be a part-time player. He could have played all of those games if they would have just simply paid the fines, and it would have gone away. It wouldn't even been a story. He made it a story. He
Thank
made it a story. So
Thank
he alienated this dude last season because the dude didn't want to take a vaccine. I'm not defending Kyrie. I'm not defending him. But at the end of the day, that's 27 points, 27 points a night on most nights, 40% shooting from the 3-point, 50% from the perimeter, and 90 something percent from the free throw line. You should, it's like, fine, he could be the strangest dude ever, but what you need him to do on the court is what you need him to do on the court, and that's who you sign. It's like you want to get involved in all of this, like cultural battles and so forth and so on. It's like, yo, this is what happens. It's like you thought you were shitting on Kyrie, but what you really were doing was you were riling KD up. Because now KD is looking at this and was like, you remember he came out and he said, you guys didn't get a chance to really, I'm disturbed by the fact that you guys didn't get an opportunity, or that you didn't take the time to understand Kyrie, to understand this dude, and you dumping on him. And then that's when he came out and said what he said, and now we're here. I knew it was going to implode. It's like Sean Marks can't keep his mouth shut.
But
This is why I'm saying get rid of him, because he is the root of this problem here. And I thought that if they just said it, stay quiet and chill, that KD would have relinquished and been like, I know I said I wanted to trade, but I just want to ball out, and I'll still ball out here in Brooklyn. But there was some other stuff said behind the scenes, because I'm like, as a player, why are you going directly to the owner and not to the general manager? Which says to me that the lines of communication, I said this before, the lines of communication between the player and the GM, who's supposed to be the advocate for the player, is no longer there. It's non-existent.
But those great numbers you gave, Bishop, that don't account for the games he missed, with or without COVID. So if that's the leg you want to stand on, again, you're talking about this guy having accountability. I don't think nobody's debating that. But where's his accountability? Where's their accountability?
Yeah, but you can't. So you brought in Boston. I'm not. Yeah, whatever happened in Boston happened in Boston.
I'm just talking about games missed. I ain't talking about his psycho symbol.
Bishop, the stuff that happened in Boston is part of his makeup.
It's relevant. You're saying it's relevant.
Yeah,
it's his MO.
Listen,
we're talking missed games.
Right. This
we
has
ain't
been
talking
an
about
epic
COVID,
failure.
social injustice. We're talking about missed games.
Well, I'm not going to dump on R too much, because I'm not going to dump on him too much, because if they would allow Kyrie to play, I do not think that the Nets would have been in the playoff. That playoff play-in or whatever, and they would have probably been somewhere in the middle, or maybe that 4th seed or something like that, if Kyrie would have been allowed to play the games that he was supposed to play.
But that's hoping he plays the games, Bishop.
He was going to play.
Well, you can't say that. His history says he wouldn't have. You don't miss 240 plus games in 3 years by coincidence. There's something going on. You missed that many games.
Listen, he's injury prone. He's a malcontent. He's spacey.
And he's never had to face any accountability.
Period. Yeah. So this is why I asked you, who holds him accountable? This is what I'm asking you.
Exactly.
Who holds Kyrie accountable?
Certainly not the owner, because he let them run him up.
Okay. So who's next in line?
All right. So let me ask this question though. So we got the GM, the head coach, the owner, whoever else, the players. Which part of this were the Knicks supposed to emulate?
That's a shot at you, damn.
And the floor is yours.
Shut up.
Oh.
First of all, let me just say this. People that live in glass houses should not throw stones. That's one.
This is not a glass house. This is not a glass house we in.
It's a glass house. You live in a glass house, okay? As a Knicks fan, I don't know what the hell you. No, don't hate me.
For once, the Knicks aren't in disarray.
Right, and the Nets live in a house of mirrors, and they're throwing it at each other.
Whatever. And at the end of the day, we still have the better team in New York. So I don't care what anybody says.
What?
You heard what I said. That's what our bet is about, fool. So what are you running about?
We're talking about on paper? On paper?
Yeah. First of all, that was a good deflection because the thing says, I always do this to y'all. Kevin Durant demands that BK Nets owner fire GM and head coach. I don't see nothing in there about the Knicks, but you gave it a good shot. This is not about the Knicks. This is about the Nets.
It is about the Knicks. He's the one that brought up, what's that have to do with the Knicks? So
he asked, this has nothing to do with the Knicks. We could talk about the Knicks, which we do too many damn times. But that being said, the blue script says in white letters, Kevin Durant demands that BK Nets owner fire the GM and head coach.
No,
demands a trade.
David posed a question that said, which part were the Knicks supposed to emulate the Nets?
Because we were told.
That's what the question was.
Yeah.
That's why we alluded to that.
Because we were told that the Nets way was the example, and this is what the Knicks should be doing. As a front office.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So that's the.
I remember that. I remember
that. Yo, Ronan got you, son.
Ronan needs to get on here, man.
Wow.
That's the point.
Yo, Ronan, my brother.
He's making a point. We understand where you stood then. We just like to know where you stand now. That's all. Not without.
I don't think we really want to know the answer to that question. Go ahead, answer the question.
I kind of sort of do.
I'm not answering anything right now.
Safe word. Safe
word.
Yeah. Fuck y'all. How about that? That's a safe word.
Damn a safe word, Dave. You made this a safe zone.
Fuck y'all. That's a damn safe word.
Dave,
how about that?
Dave, I remember we did a segment on how the Knicks, as an organization with the ownership and with the coaching and with Worldwide West and everybody, how they were in disarray and should follow the model that the Brooklyn Nets had set forth, because they were attracting free agents, they were attracting big names, and nobody wanted to sign with New York Knicks because the New York Knicks were owned by James Dolan and so forth and such. And then to follow that up, Dom and I had a dialect that pretty much was saying, like, besides KD and Kyrie, which free agents were attracted to Brooklyn? Which names have we heard associated with Brooklyn?
The ghost of Blake Griffin.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about players that matter.
Oh, the Patty Mills.
Oh, they got one of the Currys. Okay, all right. They got one of the Currys.
They got Curry Light.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
And they got Ben Simmons that play with 2 shooting sleeves and don't want to shoot.
Wow.
Even R has to admit.
He doesn't even want to get on the court to shoot.
He doesn't want to be in the chat.
Right, but I think R finally comes to realize that he may have put the cart before the horse, which is understandable for a fan. We get it. We do.
Yeah.
It's a common thing.
Yeah,
but the funniest thing, the hardest thing for me to swallow is when you got on your high horse and said, and this is why I'm not a Knicks fan, because they can't do. And now I look back and say,
Amen.
That's kind of wild.
Preach.
You left the Knicks because of dysfunction, and then you went to Bellevue and found a whole bunch of dysfunction with padded walls. I'm just confused, dog. I mean, no knock. I still love you.
To R's defense,
there's none.
The Nets played 5 more games than the Knicks. That's all I can say. I'm done.
There you go.
Okay. If that was the goal, then R can
What-
stand on his high horse. But I don't
Yeah.
know if that was R pumping his chest.
Which confirmed even more for us that they ain't shit.
You
They
know
play
what?
5 more games. They play 5 more games to remind everybody of how dysfunctional they really are.
It was, yo,
But
like,
and let's not
hold
forget,
on, fellas. If they trade KD and Kyrie walks the following after this season, it's been an epic failure, and it was funny for me.
I will
It
say
was
this:
hilarious.
that the Nets will be always a part of infamy, because if I'm not mistaken, James Harden has to be the first player in major sports history to have talked his way off of 2 teams in a 13 calendar month period.
Yep.
Wow.
That's impossible. I don't think that feat will. That's like
Yeah.
Joe DiMaggio's 56 games. I don't think that will ever be topped again.
Oh,
He was like,
boy.
"Listen,
Oh,
I want to be out
God.
of Houston."
Yep.
He gets to Brooklyn. He sees the fuckery, and he's like, "Yo,
Oh,
get me out of
Lord.
here too."
And the weird thing is during last year, James Harden, as much as we bash him, he was the only one that got out there and played on one leg.
Listen, I'll give him
Mhm.
that. He
That's-
gutted it
Yeah.
out the
I'm not a
season
Harden fan.
before.
I'm just saying.
He gutted it out, but
Yeah.
Oh, Lord,
I'm not
Lord,
a fan
Lord,
of that.
Lord,
But he
Lord.
woke up the next year and said, "Where's that Rodney Jones guy? He talked me into this bullshit.
Right.
I got to go."
Oh,
And then
You
Rodney's
know what?
sitting there scratching his headphones, saying, "What did I get myself in?"
Oh, Lord.
That's the
This
part
is
I
what-
think
that's
I
the
think
part
he's in
that hurt.
San Diego right now.
Yeah, he's in San Diego.
Yeah, that's the part that hurt. Of all the fuckery, I think that's the part that hurt me personally. When you pounded your chest and said, "This is why I'm not a Knicks fan."
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I still stand by that. I don't care. I'm not a
God
Knicks
bless
fan.
you, man.
Yeah.
I always say,
yeah.
I always
Sorry.
say,
Like I said, I'm not
everybody-
getting on that. See, you and the rest of the fine folks on this line right now is getting on that bus to Suckerville, aka MSG. I get it. Right. I'm happy for you. Keep riding that bus to
I'm glad,
Suckerville.
because you know what? I always say this. I never knock nobody for what horse they ride. I just ain't getting in front of it. That's all.
So you talking about buses and you talking about Suckerville? You my friend, are on one of those electric scooters that they rent.
He's on Rebel.
He's on Rebel.
Going to the Kings County Psychiatric Center.
The G
that's no
building.
longer there.
Damn.
That's no longer there. Those are condos now. You riding a scooter to
wow.
the G
I
building that's no longer there.
See,
I
I
appreciate
didn't, I didn't even have to instigate tonight.
No.
But I will give R credit. While he's riding them electric scooters that Bishop is talking about, we got to give him credit. He's helping the environment.
Yeah, he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up citizen.
Yeah, I got to give him
That's right.
All right. That's it.
Maybe next year you'll get a Tesla to go see the Nets.
Hey, yo.
The only thing left in this equation is we haven't had a public statement from Steve Nash, and we haven't gotten.
He ain't gonna say nothing.
And we haven't got a public
Because
statement
he's shook.
from Katie's mommy. We haven't got a public statement from her either. So
It's coming.
Yeah, I expect to hear from her before I hear from Steve Nash.
Do we hear from his burner accounts?
Probably.
Several,
you just don't know.
Oh my God! All right, I'm moving on.
It's at it's underscore R Jones at.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna close this out. All I gotta say is, just wait for this upcoming season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, it's gonna get better. You think it's gonna get better?
I have seen stranger shit in my life. Like I said, just wait until this upcoming season. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's appropriate for Brooklyn. Didn't they always say wait till next year?
Yeah. Yo, dude.
No, that's usually the refrain of New York Knicks fans.
But I can't.
And Met fans.
That was Brooklyn. That was Brooklyn first.
I can't see nothing stranger happening. I can't see nothing stranger happening than you punching your chest and bad mouthing the Nets.
Wow.
I can't see nothing stranger
Okay.
happening than that. That's just
We'll
me,
see.
though. I mean,
I hear you.
So
I feel you.
so the
We'll see.
season is starting in how many weeks?
About 2
Matt?
months.
about
The
2 months.
season, the preseason is starting in September. The real
Yeah.
season starts in October. So
Mhm.
sometime in late October, the real season starts. So you think prior today, you think that something is going to change that makes this go away? Is that what you're trying to convince us
They're
of?
they're
All I
gonna have
will
a
say,
kumbaya moment.
all I will say is we'll see. That's it. I'm gonna stand by that. We'll see.
The,
So get your
I'm,
jokes off. Whatever.
Keep hope
so
We'll
alive.
see.
so
Keep hope alive.
Kyrie is gonna go to Barclay and
I'm
burn
not saying nothing.
sage and
I
burn
said
sage.
we'll see. Keep running your jokes. We'll see at the end of the
No,
day.
And to answer the question, Stranger Things was 1986. That's all I'm gonna say.
so
Now
Let's
that
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. 'Cause these guys are pissing me off, especially Dom. So, according to the rumor mill, the Los Angeles Lakers don't think that power forward center Anthony Davis is a franchise player. Wow.
You
Okay.
They're
think?
right.
Remember,
They're right.
you
They're right.
posted that story.
Yes, I did. And Go ahead.
And they basically were saying if I think LeBron has the right to opt in for a 2-year extension.
Hmm.
He's about to negotiate with them on that. If he leaves, they're gonna get rid of AD. And like Reggie was about to say, he's proven he's not a franchise player. He's a number 2 guy, and they need a superstar. They don't have the assets right now to get another superstar.
No.
As LeBron, LeBron, God bless him, he's 37. He's still putting up great numbers, still a superstar. Charles Barkley was right when he coined the phrase street clothes for Anthony Davis, because dude is just literally always in street clothes.
Right.
He hasn't been that guy who says, listen, I'm going to take over because I'm the best player on the floor. He seems like he's not that guy.
No.
And the Lakers, they need to fire the GM. The GM is an idiot. Rob Pelinka is an idiot. He needs to go. I don't know if Darvin Ham is going to be a good coach. You blew it by hiring Frank Vogel, who can't just not. That wasn't a good hire.
Okay.
Letting certain players go and bringing in the players you brought in last year, dumb.
Well, Anthony Davis hasn't. Honestly, I knew something was wrong with that boy anyway. No, seriously. Because one, you had the unibrow. That's one that kind of bothered me. Then there was the infamous video of him being on the floor getting whipped. He's naked. Remember, he was naked on the floor in the locker room. Yeah, that never set right with me. I was like, okay, what's up with
and
you?
And then he was laughing about it.
Yeah, a little too hard. And I'm like, a little
zesty
right there. So when you have that,
I forgot about that.
No, I didn't.
I think I did a Men in Black to myself on that one.
I tried to. He just brought that memory back. And
sorry, I'm just saying, but
it wasn't cool.
No, that never sat right with me in my mind. I'm like looking at how could he be an alpha when you're in that position like that? That never kind of jives with me.
First of all, I never played games like that in the locker room. Somebody would get snuffed.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're naked on the floor getting whipped, laughing. That doesn't sound like an alpha to me. I'm sorry. So am I shocked at this?
Doing the hazing thing, that's on some other
zest. That's on some zest. Just say it's on some zesty shit. Okay. Yeah. So again, and hopefully people don't come after me for that, but if they do, whatever. I don't give a shit. But I'm just saying he's never had it. I think there was one stretch where I was really impressed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was with what team was he with? New Orleans. And he was like carrying the team a little bit. That's the only time I have been impressed with his game. Otherwise, to me, and this is gonna sound ludicrous, but to me, it's just pedestrian. It's just numbers on top of numbers,
He
but
has the
meaningless.
skill set. What?
He does, but to me, the numbers are meaningless that he gets. That's just me, in my opinion. So I think they'd be wise to get rid of him. What are you gonna get from him? Are you gonna bring the type that the haul that Utah got for Rudy Gobert? I don't know. I don't know. Can it be close to it? I don't think so. To be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't. I think he got burned out when he was with the Pelicans because he was the guy
Mhm.
on the New Orleans Pelicans, and it was just like, yeah, there's no help. No matter what he did, he was putting up huge numbers, and
Right.
it still didn't turn into W's.
Right. Exactly.
It was like, but they had no help. Nobody wanted to go to New Orleans,
Mhm.
and you got to take into consideration when they won their championship in the bubble. Anthony Davis was an integral part of that. So I'm not going to say that he's not. He's capable. It's just that it's a thing of desire. I'm not. I don't see the fire and desire
Right.
that I see from players that of his caliber. I don't really see that.
Mhm.
And last season was an anomaly in the sense that we don't know what was going on in that locker room. So it's like if you got one guy, it's like being in a bad relationship, and everybody is like saying the same thing. Like they saying that they want the same thing,
Mhm.
but their actions are showing something else. So everybody was saying, "Hey, we want to be here. We want to win. We want to do this. We want to do that. We want to play our roles." And then Russell Westbrook was going out there and doing something totally different. And some of those games, I swear, it looked like he was doing that shit on purpose. He was turning the ball over and missing layups and doing stuff. So I'm like, dude, like your hand is in the rim. How are you missing the dunk? How are you missing the dunk? You know what I mean? Or like,
Right.
Bishop,
Right. Right.
Bishop, he said that Vogel stopped speaking to him, and I guess that's when he said, "Well, you know what? Since you ain't speaking to me, and we talk about relationships,
Right.
well, I'm getting 40
yeah,
million, so
but
well."
at the end of the day, this is you. This is a representation of you. It doesn't matter whether you like the coach or not. At the end of the day, you still are Russell Westbrook. You still
Right.
are a premier player in this league. So you should represent as such. It's like I watched some of them games and I'm like, there's no way that he thought that a cross court 3/4 pass was gonna make it to his teammate. There's no way that that pass was gonna make it. Like, what is he doing?
Mhm.
Or it's like it seemed like he was doing it on purpose, like sabotage. And if I'm looking at that, and I'm not a part of the locker room, but I can't imagine what was going on in the locker room. It's like Anthony Davis is like, well, why am I exhausting myself when this dude is just barely doing whatever he doing and he got something going on. It's like when the Knicks and Larry Brown, when the whole Stephon Marbury thing was going on, and Jamal Crawford and all these guys were just sitting around and like, yo, like we just want to play ball. And Larry Brown was doing whatever he could to sabotage them so that they wouldn't win. And then the times that Steph was playing, he would do stuff to like agitate the situation. It's like I can't blame Anthony Davis for not wanting to waste his time because that last season was just like a total. I don't know what was going on in the locker room. Nobody was playing any defense. Nobody was doing anything that they were supposed to do. Role play,
So doesn't that start with the coach?
yeah. Coach and GM, coach and GM. I think the coach lost the. I think the coach lost the locker room the first month of the season.
Bishop, that's
And
Bishop. If me and you are in business together and I'm not speaking to you, that's wrong. And
It's
that
true.
starts with the coach. He
Yeah,
did
that's
not
true.
he did not speak to Russell Westbrook. It's certain other players he just for whatever reason he wasn't communicating. That's not good.
Yeah, and the coach and the GM have to be in line, and it's just like again, you got these guys who are you're in partnership with. You know how the I would say the personalities and so forth. Being a coach and being a GM is personality management. It's not just
Yes.
getting the talent; it's personality management as well. And I think a lot of these guys have failed when it comes to that. It's like we joke and we laugh. The Lakers failed at it. Novellas failed at it. It's like, yo, you have to manage personalities.
The
You
Knicks
got to
failed
manage
at it.
The Knicks failed
God
at it in some
damn this
sense.
guy.
The Knicks failed at it in some senses because it's like you got to manage personalities, and it's a skill set. It's not just, hey, I'm going to sign you and this and that. Yeah, you're getting paid $40 million. This guy's getting paid $40 million, but you can't even get him to play a decent game without 6 or 7 turnovers in a game.
Right, and then we look at other organizations like the Golden States, Boston to a degree, Miami,
Personality management.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Everybody is lockstep together.
Yeah. Personality management. See that thing that
And-
happened in Miami? Where Jimmy Butler was challenging the coach to a fight and during the game. And
Yeah.
somehow the ship got steered in the right direction and they were able to continue to work and do what they needed to do.
Well, you
Put
could,
that
you could
aside.
argue with somebody and it gets heated and it gets to a certain level. But at the end of the day, Pat Riley's not having that.
Yeah.
The GM.
Right.
The GM.
And Eric Spoelstra is a
Spoelstra is
solid
a-
coach.
Yeah, so it's like people keep saying, well, we're giving the players too much rope, too much this, too much that. It's a players' league right now. You got to manage personalities, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine having superstars on your roster, and you can't manage the personalities well enough to keep them pacified. I didn't say happy, pacified. It's sometimes you can make people feel like they have control, but they really don't. You can make people feel like they have a say-so, but they really don't. But you give them that feeling that they have a say-so, they have some input, and could not do it, could not manage it. I don't think, I can't remember any time in NBA history that this type of situation is going to happen and it happened with the Lakers as well. Because it's like, okay, so you got Russell Westbrook. This guy has been a triple-double machine pretty much for the last, 4 or 5 seasons? And he gets there and he can barely play a game for you without having 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anybody else want to offer up some stuff about this particular topic? Dave?
No, I think we covered it.
Okay. Understood. So with that being said, I think we're going to do some moving on into the lane of the NFL now for us. Cleveland-bound running back Kareem Hunt demands a trade or multi-year contract extension. Damn. I mean, the first thing that comes to my head is you really want to just leave that place. You understand?
And that's his hometown.
Damn. I didn't realize that, man. It's that bad you want to leave your own hometown? Damn.
I think he wants more money.
So you think it's a play? So he's making a threat and whatnot, or yeah.
And I guess he wants to be a starter again because he's actually.
But
he's
the thing
backup.
is, do you think he's the actual starter? Does he command that starter money? I don't think so.
He's not a starter, but he is a good weapon to have, and he's a good player.
Okay, but in other words, you're saying he's not a starter. That's what I say. He's not a starter. And I agree with you. He is a good weapon to have. You understand? So, but like three down right. back, I don't think so.
And him and Chubb work great together as a 1-2 tandem.
Right.
He's making $6 million this year, and he signed like a 2-year deal. So he's 26 going on 27. So he wants to cash in.
Yeah, he's looking for that big deal. I don't know. Is he worth it now? That's my only thing.
Listen.
Yeah. The look you shot when I asked you that, it was, you know what I'm saying? Oh, so Ronan thinks he's a starting caliber running back. Okay.
Ronan.
I
like Kareem Hunt. I've always liked him. You 26 going on 27. That's about when running backs start to deteriorate. He had He had injuries last year. He played
Exactly.
6 to 8 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably won't get that big money contract, especially since you're the number 2 running back on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he wants to be traded to a team where he'll be able to be a starter.
I'm just wondering. I want to ask our brother Ron. I wish he was on with us because I do want to get like a detailed explanation on why he thinks that he is a starting caliber running back.
He's a good receiver. He's a good running back. He can run between the tackles, and he's a really good receiver. But
well, let's see what he has to say. Hunt would be
Yes.
a perfect compliment.
Buffalo
for the
would be beautiful
Bills.
for him.
For sure. His numbers were solid in KC before the incident, which got him traded from the Chiefs. Excuse me.
Right.
I agree. I'm a Buffalo fan, so I would love to have him. Again, I still don't think he's a starting running back, but I'd love to have him. You know? Mm-hmm. So it's a ploy to like I said, to not to really leave Cleveland, but to get paid. And I understand that. I agree with you, Mac. I don't think he'll get that big money he's looking for. He'll get a nice little raise, but it won't come close to what he truly wants.
I don't know if he wants double figures in the millions, over 10 million a year. I don't know if anybody's going to give him that based on his age.
Right.
And
I mean, 8, I could see 8.5. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely see, but like you said, the double digits, 10 and up and more, no, I don't see it. So anybody else? I guess not. Going once, going twice.
I don't even know who he is.
It's the Cleveland Browns. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Brother
yes.
Ali on my page, he said, I think he could start. He looked good in Tampa Bay. He's a Melvin Gordon type and would get that type of money.
Okay.
I think he set out, training camp has just started. I think he set out one day maybe. And he didn't participate in the involuntary things that they do during the off.
Okay. Solid. All right. Well, thank you, Brother Ali. Appreciate your comment, and thanks for checking us out as well. All right, moving on. Land of baseball. We'll start off with the New York Yankees right fielder Aaron Judge on a historic home run chase, and the Yankees are making a playoff run. Now, they are making a playoff run. However, they're struggling in the second half. Well, you got to remember, baseball is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Right. So with all that hot start and this guy hitting home runs seemingly every day, it's going to happen.
What's he at, 44 now?
44 he has right now. Like I said, it's a marathon. They're going to have the dog days of August, which we're in. You understand? And it's a part of the game. I think they're going to be fine. They'll be perfect. I think they'll be fine. They're going to recover from the little malaise right now. But they have to recover quickly because the end of the season is coming upon them. And you want to get out of the regular season on a high, not a low, not playing 50-50 baseball. You don't want to do that. You like to go out like pretty much in a blaze, a good blaze.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Are we talking about the Mets or the Yankees?
Yankees, sir.
Yeah. So what are you talking about? Like the Yankees always show up when it's time to show up. So I don't understand.
No, what you don't understand is there's a little bit of panic from fans because they've not been playing as lights out as they were earlier this year.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they're going through a little slump. Okay.
That's what I said. The fuck?
Yeah, that's really what he was saying.
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time. I know.
God damn.
That was just a way to inject in there a little Mets attack.
Yeah.
Well, they coming up.
But he couldn't wait. He had to say,
Sweet
that's why he
Jesus.
had to clarify. It's right there on, as Dom said, on the blue and white crawl.
Good
it says
God.
New York Yankees.
Right.
But Bishop
Right fielder Aaron Judge.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yankees.
Bishop wanted to take us out. Are we talking about the Mets or the
Yeah.
Yankees?
I was like,
That's
what are you
that
talking
was.
about? Ask me what I'm talking about. What are
That's
you
what that
talking
was.
about?
No,
Jesus.
you were talking like you were talking about the Mets. It's like, well, they're not finishing up. They're this, they're that. It's like the
Well,
Yankees will be fine. They'll be
Yeah,
fine.
but to ours point though, you got some Yankee fans that get very panicky when they don't
Right.
win every single night.
Exactly.
yep. It
Exactly.
cracked me up.
So they lose 5 games in a row, and
Right.
then they start thinking like they're on the damn Titanic. Just
I
chill
mean-
out. Ours said it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is this true that when the Yankees traded Gallo, were they really 0-5?
Yeah.
Yes,
and
yeah.
is that-
they
that's
was
yes.
accurate on that.
Yeah, until last night when they won.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they said Gallo, Gallo was the key factor. They were winning because of Gallo. Now the Dodgers are winning because of Gallo. You know what it is with Gallo? Gallo is like sometimes when I tell some of my students,
Mhm.
I said if you can't add anything to it, just get out of the way. So that's
Right.
what he does. He takes his 3 swings and goes back to the bench and
And
says,
that's
you know
it.
what? You can have this game. I'll just sit on the side and wait for next time.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. I don't know if all saw it on Twitter, but I was in a discussion with some people, and brother was like, the New York fans ruined certain players. He said we ruined Joey Gallo. He said we ruined Chuck Knobloch, and I think he mentioned another baseball player. I'm like, whoa. Listen, Joey Gallo is batting below the Mendoza line, striking out at a historically bad amount of times.
Right.
No, if you do well, you get praised in New York.
Yes.
And we might be a little rough with it. We're not like Philadelphia fans.
No.
Those fans are worse. But
Exactly.
if you do bad, we're gonna let you know you're doing bad and you stink.
Yeah,
And
their expectations.
Listen, he's a good guy because he didn't get mad with the fans. He
Right.
played every day as best he could and batted 159.
Yeesh. Yikes.
Yikes is right.
I think I could bet 159. Shit.
I'm sure you could, brother.
Reg, you could bat 220, bro. I got faith.
Damn. How much they was paying him?
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
He was
Damn.
getting some money. He
I'll
was
tell
getting
y'all
some
in
money.
a second.
But do you guys feel that there's any truth to that in which players get some certain
No, here's what I'll say to that. I think that there are certain players that they struggle when the lights are on, and this is definitely a city where the lights are on, and we scrutinize every at bat, every game, and some guys are not built for that. But this is the way New York has always been, and I'm not going to say that we ruin guys because some of these guys, their struggles are on them. Because some guys succeed and other guys don't. And every player will tell you, every player that won a championship in New York, whether it was the Yankees, the Mets, whoever, the Giants, they will tell you how it's better than winning anywhere else.
Right.
Because you become instantly this New York legend. And we honor winners.
Right.
So there are expectations that go along with it, but I don't like the idea that somehow New York fans ruin players. No, I just don't see it that way. You may not be built for it, but
I don't think any fan ruins a
player.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fans either. I think one name comes to mind. This is old school player Ed Whitson when he came here. Yeah, see your face, Mac. You just like you had just drank some lemon juice or something straight. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, you made that soured up face. Ed Whitson, when he got here, I mean, he was a reliable pitcher in San Fran. You understand? But when he came from San Fran to New York as a free agent, it just went sour immediately, you know. And it seemed like he was just like nervous, scared to take the damn mound. You know what I'm saying? So again, I just think that some players just can't handle the pressure of New York. Not so much the fans, but just the whole aura of being a New Yorker.
Look at a guy like John Starks when he was on the Knicks and he had that bad game in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Did he tuck his tail and run and no, he just, and nobody hates him in New York.
No,
we all love John Starks because John Starks was like, "Yo, just keep feeding me the ball. I'll get hot sooner or later."
Mm-hmm.
That particular game, he didn't get hot, and
no,
after that, he was solid. So, you know, Joey Gallo, he's making $10 million this year. For whatever reason, he's always been a guy who strikes out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, it's just
off the hook.
He just striking out every at bat.
Right. Well,
Ali said New York fans aren't as bad as Boston fans. I agree with that. Ronan,
yep.
He called Philly fans cheesesteak eating bastards. They ruin players win or lose. That is so true.
That is that is absolutely. They just
listen. If I go to a game in Philly, I'm wearing neutral colors.
Yeah,
I'm wearing.
Why?
I'm not wearing no New York stuff in Philly.
Why,
bro? Listen, they beat up a Philadelphia basketball player who played for the Sixers. Because he wore Washington, he's from Washington, so he wore Washington Redskins gear in their stadium, and they beat that ass.
I don't know.
You don't remember that?
I remember that, but I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, and I dare.
All right.
I dare somebody to do that. I invite that shit.
Okay. I mean, but they're looking to fight. I mean,
yep,
right.
Look, my family, you know, my sister and her family in Philly. My mom is in Philly.
Right.
I don't like Philly. You know,
I only
go there. No, I don't. I only go there because they're there.
Right.
But I've never been a fan of Philly, and I imagine that, you know, if that's where you are, then you want to fight about something. So, like putting a stadium in Brownsville or something. Like we're all mad at each other.
They have to do that.
We're all angry.
I hear you.
They gonna put a stadium on Mother Gaston and Julius.
right in Betsy Head Park.
Oh God, brothers, let's do some moving on. This is the last topic of the night. Still in the lane of baseball. Now, Sir Bishop.
Now Bishop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wake up. Okay. New York Mets. Oh wait. Again. New York Mets. Jacob deGrom returns. The Mets extend their NL East lead in that NL East division. No, brother Ro. No, I'm staying. I'm fighting, dude. I'm fighting. Okay.
How you gonna go to a game in Philly before you go to a game in Brooklyn?
All right, that's it. Good night, guys.
That was cold.
Good night, guys.
That was a nice shot, Dave. That was nice. Right to the gut.
I don't know, man. I thought David and I were friends, man.
We are.
That's what you thought.
Yeah,
no,
obviously,
we're the bestest of friends.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing otherwise, man. Well, this is true. The Eagles have a damn jail inside their stadium. You're right.
That's right. They
sure
do.
Hell yeah. I ain't trying to see that shit though.
All
but
right,
go ahead, Dave.
Let's get into this marathon of the New York Mets. As a Met fan, this has been an exciting season, and I couldn't have asked for anything more out of them. You know, they've stepped up to the challenges. There was a point where Atlanta got it down to a half a game.
Right.
And there was a lot of speculation that going into this 5-game series that Atlanta would be coming out of there in first place. And a lot of the Atlanta players believe that. But what we saw this past weekend, whatever happens from this point on, what we saw was a team that steps up to challenges, and they're not afraid of challenges. And I put a lot of that on Buck. We talked in basketball about the importance of a head coach. Buck is the right man for this team. The players believe in him, and he's gotten them playing the best ball of their careers. And what we saw from Scherzer and then Jake the other night was remarkable. Was remarkable.
That was crazy.
So I know there's always that feeling of Mets going to Met, and they don't have that track record that the Yankees do. But every season we have to look at every season by itself.
For sure.
And because
they're laughing.
Yes. Because I will say this,
God damn it. God damn.
Yeah, it's always a shot. These are all your friends are, but every season is a season in itself. And while the Yankees have track records from year to year, you still have to play the games for this season, and none of the games from last year or the year before count towards this year. This year, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. And I think that around the league, they're being noticed as a team that could win it all. That doesn't mean that they will. There are a lot of great teams out there, a few that really have legitimate shots. But from what I've seen, and the fact that Apple took a lot of heat about not making the big splash during the trade deadline, but then the guys that he got, Vogelbeck and Naquin.
I like Vogelbeck. That's my guy.
Yeah. So they were the right moves for this team. Sometimes the best ones are the moves that you don't make.
For sure.
So we'll look at it at the end when the season is over. We'll look back on it, and I'm very hopeful, and I think that I have a right to be hopeful.
Right.
Well said. The splashy move was getting deGrom back because
and that's exactly what they said.
Because
that's like
Scherzer has been a bulldog.
That's right.
Minus he had his little injury.
Yeah.
Right.
deGrom has a fresh arm going into these. We at 130 games already.
Yeah. Yeah. He was electric the other night.
Yeah.
Electric. Vogelback has given the offense a jolt in the arm because he's a guy. He's looks like he's a cheerleader. He came in and I was reading an article on him. He came in and the locker room welcomed him and he welcomed them. And like Bishop was talking earlier about coaches and engagement.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter is engaged with 1 through 20. Was it 27 players?
Yeah.
20. He's engaged with 1 through 26. Not just being, I'm engaged with the superstar, but I'm not worried about the guy on the bench, so I'm not going to talk to him. And Buck Showalter has just been the manager we needed. And
absolutely.
He's coached his ass off. I love the way the offense is. We talk about teams looking for home run ball. The Mets don't play typical home run ball. They play they're aggressive on the base pass. Very selective at bats. They make the pitches work.
Yeah, that's long definitely long counts.
Starling Marte was a great pickup.
Yes.
Lindor is being a guy we seen when he was a superstar elsewhere.
Right.
And the polar bear, Alonso is just
he's mashing and not just the home runs, the average, he's getting the clutch hits. It's not an all or nothing type of thing.
Right.
So they're very dangerous in that lineup 1 through 9.
And Diaz is our reliever.
Yeah.
I was reading. Do y'all think he should win the Cy Young or be mentioned in the Cy Young run?
I think he should be mentioned. You know what? I have a problem, not a problem, but I have a slight issue with positions that have categories for themselves, and then they are also mentioned in other categories. Like a starting pitcher can get the Cy Young, but they're not going to get the Rolaids relief pitcher. So I think that it kind of like should be in their own lane, but he's been Cy Young caliber. Yeah.
Right. I think all left.
All left, and Bishop is sleeping.
Is that Bishop?
Oh, Reg. Oh, both. Wow, you start talking about the Mets and they go to sleep. You see that?
It's Reg. But yeah, I'm enjoying this year. I'm enjoying both teams. I hope they meet in the World Series.
Yeah, you know what, and that's a segue to what I was going to say. That's going to be tough. That's going to be so tough. Those things, they're hard on my heart. But I have to say, I went to one of the two games that they had Mets Yankees at Citi Field, and I got to tell you, I've been to a few Subway Series games, and this one, I feel like it was the most fun in that ballpark. It was really like I think I mentioned before, both teams are at the top of their divisions playing great baseball, and the atmosphere there was like a New York City baseball party. That's the only way I can describe it. You saw so many people, because I was in a group that had both Mets and Yankees fans in it, and you saw that multiple groups all over the place, Mets, Yankees together. And so there really wasn't that tension and animosity. The tension was, of course, when it was getting dicey, and every time Aaron Judge would get up, the stadium had this buzz about it. But as far as, I didn't see anybody arguing. I saw Mets and Yankees fans playfully going at each other. It wasn't that sense, and it was really one of the best times I had at the ballpark, especially for a Subway Series, with that kind of thing where as far as the fans go. So it's an exciting, it's good for baseball. It's definitely great for New York, whichever side you're on. Whether it's the Mets or the Yankees that win, we know that on the other side there's a great ball club.
Right. It's like you were saying. I noticed before there would be, how Yankee fans how they are. Some of them are.
Yeah.
They're real cold to Met fans, and
absolutely,
I don't see that this year. I see a lot of I guess because both teams, especially the Mets, in past years haven't been good, and rather the Yankees have been good. They just haven't gone all the way, and now
there's a mutual respect that I'm seeing that in previous years you might not have seen as much from the fans. The players, of course, naturally they always respect each other. I mean, these guys know each other.
They see each other.
Yeah. But fan wise, there wasn't that rabid sense of, I hate you. It was like, all right, we'll get you next time type thing. It was like, all right, we look forward to going against you again. And it was really a fun atmosphere, and when the Mets, the way they won it, pulled it out in that second game, I mean, the stadium just went crazy. But it was like, it wasn't like a taunting of Yankee fans, So
this sort of reminds me, the Mets. This is not the same, but this is like shades of '86 a little.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Yankees remind me of some of the great teams they've had in the past.
Yeah,
and
so
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
Do the Mets have what it takes to get past the Dodgers and the Padres, who, both of those teams are loaded?
Yeah, they play us tough. They definitely play us tough, both cases. But I think that there is a grittiness to this team that they believe that they can win.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way with beating someone. Is that when you believe that you have, I think I heard some one of them say or something. They should be worrying about us. It's not one sided. It's not like, oh, we should worry about the Dodgers and the Padres. They respect them, but on that other dugout in that other clubhouse, believe me, I don't think anybody particularly wants to face the Mets either. Not in a short series with the pitching.
No, not if
So
deGrom,
yeah,
Scherzer, and then Diaz at the end.
yeah. So wherever they wind up, it's not going to be a case of them feeling like, oh, we're just lucky and happy to be
Right.
here. They're
How
there to win it.
right? Ali said that the Padres are gonna Padres and the Dodgers are good. How are the Padres pitching in your estimate? In your estimation?
Yeah, I think that might be. I saw you Darvish twice.
Right.
Once in Atlanta and once at Citi Field, and I think maybe 1-2 in their rotation. I don't know who the other is. That may be their strength, but I think they kind of fall off with that afterwards. So they got to stack a loaded lineup, but their pitching might be their downfall after you get past 1 or 2. They struggled against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So that loaded lineup, I think I saw the stat that in the 4 games that they played over the weekend, the Dodgers outscored them 20-4.
Yep.
And swept them. So there was a big buildup, going into that series, and I'm sure that there was a huge letdown for the Padres and their fan base because they're not really a direct rival to the Dodgers, not like the Dodgers Giants.
Yeah.
But
and
they are
never and haven't been.
Yeah, because they've never really been relevant at the same time the Dodgers were.
Right.
I remember,
but I'm happy for the Padres.
I'm definitely happy for them. I'm happy. If Soto had to go somewhere, okay, San Diego, because I sure as hell didn't want to see him in the Bronx or in Atlanta, definitely, or Philly or somewhere.
Right.
Get him out of our way. We don't have to face him that much.
So is Philly, not Philly, Atlanta is the closest team to us in the National League.
Yeah, Atlanta and then Philly. Philly's been on a winning streak too.
Right. Can they catch us? Or do you think at this point, because we got a 5-game lead?
We got a 7-game lead now.
7-game
lead. Yeah, because they didn't play last night and we won, so it was 6.5. Now it's 7. They've got a lot of games left still with them. They've got 4 in Atlanta, I believe, and another 3 at Citi Field or something like that. So anything is possible. They are definitely capable of it. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not dismissing. We are talking about the World Series, reigning World Series champions.
Right.
Freddie Freeman is a big loss, and but Atlanta, they definitely know how to win. They've been there before. They're a young team. They're an exciting team.
I don't like Atlanta.
Yeah,
I've never liked the Braves.
So
the only time I liked the Braves was when Hank Aaron was on the Braves.
Oh,
other than that,
and it's funny because I liked the Braves back in the 90s. I like those 90s teams.
I like their pitch. Well, you know what? I like players on their team.
I definitely like. I mean, that's when they had Chipper, Klesko, Ron Gant, Andrew Jones, whose son is, I think he was might have been the 2nd pick or something like that. He looks like he's going to be a good one. They're not a great sports city in general.
No,
Atlanta is not major sports. College, definitely college football. But baseball, the stadium is packed when they're winning. But when they're not and they're not so good, they're not really the talk. And the Hawks, it's terrible. I've been to about 2 or 3.
I've been to Hawk games.
Yeah.
It's we know how many New Yorkers have migrated to Atlanta.
Yes, yeah.
Hawk game is really Knicks fans who
It
want to
was.
go watch basketball.
I actually went to Hawks Knicks a few years ago, and back when Porzingis was still with the Knicks, and that arena was 50-50, and I think I'd be maybe being modest, but then the Hawks fans got loud at the end because they actually won. But yeah, so it's just terrible, not a great sports town.
No, I think the Falcons have a good fan base.
Yeah, and that's nice stadium, that Mercedes-Benz. I actually got to see them building it, but yeah. But the stadium, Atlanta Braves Stadium, is very nice, but you can tell it's not really yeah. But yeah, I think that I don't put anything past anything, but I think if the Mets stay healthy, if they stay healthy, they're going to be tough to pass.
Yep. And with that, I'm going to have to say good night.
All right.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Bishop is asleep. Reggie is asleep. I guess
I am not asleep.
Oh, hey.
You woke up.
Good morning, sunshine.
I was never sleeping.
Somebody was sleeping.
Wasn't me.
Okay.
But anyway,
yeah.
I want to thank everybody who's on my page on Facebook, everybody in the chat room, on YouTube.
In La La Land.
I got to thank my brothers David, the Bishop, Reg, Dom, who I didn't acknowledge for our comedy tour. But Oh, I had to leave. This is In the Paint. It's the realest show in sports. Remember, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment on the In the Paint Media Group channel on YouTube. And we should be back Friday. So I'm going to go to sleep because I'm tired. I had a long day. And,
all right, fellas. Later.
All right. Peace.